Hi, I am Shantanu. Welcome to the World Digital Readiness webinar. In this webinar, we will discuss that how digitally ready a country is, and we will go across the globe to find out the readiness of different countries. We will assess the digital readiness in terms of two parameters, namely the digital readiness quotient and the digital market size or digitally enabled people available in each of these countries. So when I say digital readiness quotient, what I mean is how ready a country is to accept any of the digital products and services that can be offered. And in order to come to that digital readiness quotient, what I have done is I have analyzed the data of the ICT usage of the countries between the year 2000 and 2015. And I have also forecasted the data up to 2018 so that you get a perspective that how the market size, or the digital readiness quotient of different countries can be this year or the next year. So what you can expect in this particular webinar is that you will be able to understand the digital readiness of different countries, and this can do two things for you. One is you will be able to understand that how digitally matured a country is, and if the maturity quotient is high, then there would be a good appetite in those countries to accept the digital services that you can offer. And if the digital maturity index or quotient is low, then you will have an opportunity to develop the digital infrastructure. If you are a strategist or a marketing or a sales professional, it will help you to know all this numbers, or know the map of digital readiness across the globe. And otherwise also, if you are a general technology trend follower, then it will give you a lot of good data or information in this regard. So in order to do that analysis, I have sourced the data from two of the sources. One of the data that I needed is the world population data that I have sourced from the World Bank data catalog. And the other data is the ICT, or the information communication technology usage data. And that I have sourced from the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. And the two of the data sources that I have used from ITU is the country-wise time series data of the percentage of individuals having a mobile connection, and the country-wise time series data of the percentage of individuals using the internet connection. The first one I have called it as a mobile usage density, and the second data, which is the internet usage related data, that I have called internet usage density. I have structured this webinar into 4 different sections. The first, we are going to look at the ICT usage trend. That means the internet usage density and the mobile usage density between the year 2000 and 2015 for countries across the globe. And once we see that, we will know that what is the digital connectedness of people in these countries. And based on that, we are going to analyze and see that how the digital readiness is across the countries. And first, we are going to look at the digital market size that is available in, or will be available in, the year 2018 in different countries. And we will also look at the digital readiness quotient of different countries based on the 2015 data. And that is going to be the third section of this webinar. And in the fourth section, what we are going to do is we are going to combine these two data point in order to devise our digital strategy. So let's start off with seeing that how is the digital footprint of different countries, or the ICT usage trend of different countries look like. What you are seeing on this graph is, on the x-axis you have got the mobile usage density. That means the number of people having a mobile connection in different years starting from 2000 to 2015 for all the countries across the globe. And you have on the y-axis the internet usage density, that is the number of people having an internet connection between the year 2000 to 2015, and for different countries across the globe. So let me stop this, get it to 2000, and let us see what is happening, and let us also see that what kind of a data which is present here for one country. So this is the country Norway. This is the year 2000. The mobile density is nearly 72. So 72 people out of 100 people have got a mobile connection way back in 2000 in Norway, and 52 people have got an internet connection out of 100 people in Norway. And the total market size is coming to be 1.6 million in Norway in 2000. We will come to that how we have computed this digital ready market size in our next section. And these blue dots are the European countries. Then we have Latin America with the magenta color. We have green for the Middle East and North Africa. The North America is represented with a pink color. The Sub-Saharan Africa with a lime green color or a lime yellow color. And then we have South Asia in orange, and East Asia and Pacific, which includes Australia and New Zealand, in red. And now let's see this beautiful chart animation in order to see that how the progress had been of different countries, right? You can see that the countries in blue are moving up and they are accelerating very fast. You can see three or four of such countries are having an average of about 80% of people having an internet connectivity, and the mobile usage is about 100%. So almost all the people in that country would have had a mobile connection. So that's the trend way back in 2004. Maybe that all people don't have, but the number of mobile connections or the density is really very high. Let's look a little farther at what is happening, and see below you have the red dots which are coming from the East Asia and Pacific. You have this pink dots which are coming from the North America. And if you look at the size of the bubble, represents the kind of size of the market that is present. So let's look a little farther and see that how they are proceeding. And 2008, 9, 10, blues are advancing, reds are also advancing, and you can see some of these greens are now coming up. So we have one more year to go, and let me stop there. So you have these blue dots which are the European countries, you have these pink dots which are the North American countries, and you have these green dots which are the Middle East and North African countries are the leaders in the mobile as well as the internet usage, right? So it gives a clear picture that what is the trend of ICT usage across the world. And this big red dot bubble is China, and this big orange bubble is India. So with this we understand that what is the ICT usage trend across the globe through this chart animation. Now let us go to our main pivotal dashboard, and let us look at that how the forecasted digital market size is across the globe. So here I would start off with Europe. This blue dot is nothing but Europe. Those are the countries which has got a very high digital quotient, but their market size is not very high. And this dark blues are the actual data, and these three, that is 2016, 17, and 18, are forecasted data. Now let us understand that the definitions a little better, so that we appreciate that what this data is getting shown. So first is a digital quotient. So what I have assumed here is the digital quotient is a function of the mobile usage density and the internet usage density. And density is defined in terms of the mobile or the internet subscription per 100 people in the population. And these two densities are assumed to be independent. So the digital quotient of a country for a year is the mobile subscription density and the internet subscription density, a multiplication of those two. So if a country has got 90% people having a mobile subscription or connection, and 80% of the people have got an internet subscription or connection, and then the digital quotient of that country is assumed to be 0.9 multiplied by 0.8, which is 0.72, or the 72%. And the digital ready market size of that country for that year is the digital quotient, that means 0.72. And if it is a country of say 100 million people, then you have 72 million people who are digitally enabled. So those are the two definitions that I have used here. And what you are seeing here is the digital ready market size. So if you look here, this is Russia, and the market size is about 210. It will reach 210 million by 2018. The next one, if I look at it, is Germany, which will have 100 million market size by 2018. So 100 million digitally enabled people available to receive your digital services. So that's the Europe. So they are very high in terms of their digital quotient. That means the number of people having their mobile connections per 100 people and number of people having internet connection per 100 people are very high, but their population is not huge, so their market size are moderate. Now next comes Latin America. If you look at we have Brazil here, which will reach 203 million digitally ready market size by 2018. And then they are not very high in terms of their digital quotient, but have a very decent digital quotient, but a very but good number of population. Now here you see all these green dots, right? They are very high. These are Middle East countries which are very high, or the North African countries which are very high in terms of their digital maturity or the digital quotient, but their population is small, and hence something like United Arab Emirates, or rather Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates, they will be a 20 to 40 million people, digitally enabled people, who will be available to receive your receive your digital products and services. Now here is North America, US. Yeah, it's big. It's about 314 million digitally enabled people should be available in the year 2018, right? Next is Canada, which has got a very small market size, but if you look at the digitally readiness quotient, the Canada is higher than US, but US obviously the population is much more. Now we will look at Sub-Saharan Africa. They are not very high, neither in terms of population nor in terms of their digital quotient. Hence you see a very flat structure here. Now let's come here. See this acceleration. This is India. And India should have a 391 million people available by 2018 with a mobile and internet connection ready to consume the any kind of digital services that you offer. So the acceleration is good, although the maturity is still not very high, but still because of the population, it offers you a very big market. Now let's look at this. This is China, which will have a 873 million people who would be available as a market size for receiving any kind of digital services that you offer, by far the highest. And look at this acceleration also. So they are reaching a digital maturity of about 80% now, and it is going to be a huge population who will be receptive. So a country like China, if there is a language barrier, if there is a policy barrier, it is worthwhile to overcome those barriers, because the market size is too huge to take your services away from that country, or not to venture into that country. So digitally ready market size does give a very different profile or a picture than as compared to the digital readiness quotient. So the quotients are high in different countries, and when the quotients are high, your spend to reach out to the digitally enabled people, or your marketing spend for your digital products, are less. But on the other side, because of the huge population as well as the digital maturity quotient, India, market like India or China do offer a very lucrative size. So you have to balance somewhere. So now that we understand this, let us look at the digital map or digital maturity map of the world. Now here is the digital maturity map of the world, and these numbers that you see is the 2015 numbers based on the 2015 data. And what this says is, out of the 100 people, say if I take Greenland, out of the 100 people, there are 72 people who will have there are 72 people who will have the digital maturity. There are 106.5 people have got mobile internet connection, and there are 72 people who are available with the mobile and internet maturity. That means the entire digital maturity quotient available with them, so they are ready to consume your services. And the market size is about 40 million. So that's how we need to read the data. Let us look at the scale, because this is very important. What I have done is I have kept 80% as the strategic inflection point. That means the color changes from red to green at when the digital maturity is at 80%. And more red it is, that means it is less digitally matured country, and more green it is more digitally matured country. That's how you need to read this data. So typically you see that in the European zone is the zone of very high digital maturity. There is Argentina here, high in maturity. You have Australia, New Zealand and Japan also are very high in terms of maturity, as well as you have these Middle East countries which are also high in terms of their maturity. No wonder that and the selfie authentication of MasterCard got rolled out first in Europe. And we also see that in 2016, the World Finance Digital Banking Award for Best Mobile App and the Best Digital Bank has gone to the Middle East. So obviously this map is very important to understand that where you are going to launch your products. So as we have discussed earlier, we have got two different dimensions where the profiles are very different. So we have markets which are very huge in size. We have countries with very high in terms of their digital maturity, because what we are seeing, the usage of the mobile as well as the internets are very high in those countries. Now let us look at that. How do I combine this entire thing to find out my magic quadrant of my digital readiness? So let us look at this two charts which are linked to each other. So below, you are seeing all the dots that you have seen earlier, which is the digital maturity map. But this data is the 2018 data. The last one that you have seen is the 2015 data. This is the projected 2018 forecast data that you have here. But that strategic inflection point still remains at 80%. That means anything which is less than 80% is red, and anything which is more than 80% is green. And you can see that the scale is skewed towards more greener side, right? So the highest digital maturity is possibly somewhere around 268.5. We have Bahrain there with a digital maturity of 268.5, right? And so you have this green and red dots here based on the digital maturity. The bubble size again is the 2018 market size that you can expect. And here on the top you have again on the y-axis you have the digital maturity quotient, and on the x-axis you have the digitally ready market size. Now here there are two sliders, and you can actually change these sliders based on the products that you are going to offer or the kind of market size that you are going to look for. And once you play around with the sliders, you can find your own digital magic quadrant or desired quadrant, and based on that you can think that which countries are the ones where you'd like to offer your services first. So if I say that I would like to do business in a country where there are population of 60 million, let me go to that size. So you can see, from the below, once you have selected 20 million, some of the dots have disappeared. There are more green dots because the digital maturity is high, and at 40 million some more number of dots are even lesser. At 60 million you have got even fewer dots. So let me stop here at 60 million market size. So these are digitally enabled 60 million or more people available in this country. And if I can attract 10% of these people into the services, digital services that I offer, I'm talking about roughly a market size of 6 million people subscribing to my services. Now let me see. So here if I leave it at that, then any of these countries the marketing spend can be very higher, because the number of population or the digital quotient is not very high. So let us look at a high digital quotient here. And if I say that I would like to have a digital quotient of 80%, that means 80 out of 100 people should have a mobile connection as well as an internet connection. Then let's see that how the sizes, how the countries are looked at. Once you have gone to 40%, India has disappeared, one big market is gone. If you go to 60%, some more reduction. If at 80%, some more reduction. Even China is not there. So these are the countries left with. If I decide that no, 60% is good enough for me in this case, then what you are seeing here is that these are the countries which are available for doing your business. But this is only a starter or starter platform. Then based on the actual size that you have, based on the actual products that you want to offer, there are more variables which are required to be considered in this data driven analysis in order to conclude the countries where you can launch your services. So that's pretty much is what I would like to cover in this webinar. And if you are interested with this analysis, please feel free to contact me. My contact details are given here, And what we can do is, based on your specific products that you want to offer, we can include more variables in and make this a more detailed analysis to find out the countries where you can launch your product. If you like the concept which has been given in this webinar, please do feel free to post your comments as well as give your likes. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day ahead.